Hey y'all, what's up? I'm back. Today we're going to be doing a tag video, and the tag is the end of year book tag. So we're just going to be talking about all the books that I want to get through before New Year's. So without further ado, let's just get right on into the video. Okay, so I have the list of questions here. The first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Great question, I would love to tell you. This is my stack of currently reading on Goodreads. This is my stack. And I'm also reading one ebook. So let's get into it. The ebook that I'm currently reading is Freedom is a Constant Struggle by Angela Davis. This book has a lot to do with the current crisis that's happening in Gaza. She talks a lot about Palestine and the unfair occupation that is happening there, as well as how it relates to Ferguson and police brutality that's happening in America, as well as just like, I don't know if she talks about the Black Lives Matter movement, but she does talk about the Black Panther Party and how there needs to be a political party in our United States system that actually focuses on women's rights, LGBTQ plus rights, Black and people of color, like their rights, even though like they have gained a lot from the civil rights movement that happened in the 60s, there is still more to be done. And so she just talks a lot about that. It's very interesting. I'm really loving it. It's told through a series of interviews, and I'm loving that style of like conversation that she's having. It's making it really accessible to read and easy to understand. So I highly recommend you read that book. It is a really informative book about especially current events that are happening right now. So I highly recommend. Next is a book that I'm reading to like learn more. Basically, this is El Principito by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I don't know how you say that name. It's like French, I think. But this is the book The Little Prince, but in Spanish. So if you don't know, my mom's side of the family is all Hispanic. They're all from El Salvador. And my dad's side is Italian. So growing up, I didn't really speak a lot of Spanish, but I took Spanish in school for like 6 years or something like that. So I have learned a lot, but I want to learn more. So I'm starting off by reading children's books in Spanish. And I think that reading this will help me because I've never read this book. Just to preface, I've never read The Little Prince before, but there's like so much text on the page. Like, can you see that? It's like it's a whole page of text. So I'm in the middle of reading that. I'm like translating words that I don't know as I'm going through it, and like making sure that I understand what the words are actually saying strung together, instead of just like reading the words and being like, I know those words individually, but I'm reading for comprehension is basically the gist. Next, another book that I am currently reading and that I want to finish before the end of the year is Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. This book I started like maybe a month ago, and I'm only like a third of the way through. It's only like 250 pages, but I read this when I am in a situation where I can't listen to an audiobook. I'm physically reading this book is basically what I'm saying. I normally listen to the audiobook while physically reading, but with this one, I couldn't find the audiobook anywhere. So anyways, that is to say, I'm taking my time with this because I'm not in a ton of situations where like I have the time to read but not listen to an audiobook. But I'm enjoying this so far. It's like really spooky, and it's a good book for like spooky season. So I'll let y'all know more about this book when I finish it. Next is a book that I have like literally 20 minutes left of the audiobook. I just haven't finished it yet. I'm not ready to finish it because I have a feeling a lot is going to happen in these last 20 minutes. This is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is a book about a pandemic and about a world after the pandemic where they actually don't recover from the pandemic. So it's very heavy with topics of grief and loss and sickness, illness, stuff like that. So if you're not ready to handle topics like that, I wouldn't suggest reading this book, but I'm finding it very interesting and I can't wait to finish it, hopefully today. So it will be finished before the end of the year. Next, I have a book that I literally read the first chapter of and I was like, I don't know if I can do this right now. It's Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I want to get into classics more, so that's why I picked this book up. And to be honest, the first chapter was a struggle, so comment down below if Wuthering Heights is worth it or if I should just DNF now. That might be controversial, but like, let me know, please. And lastly, I have Kaikeyi by Vaishnavi Patel. This is like it's one of those like retelling books based on an Indian folktale, or I don't know if it's exactly a folktale, but a very popular Indian story. And it's following the character Kaikeyi, who is like known, I don't know what she's known for, but I know that she's well known in this Indian story. But this is like following her life from like birth to death, I'm assuming. And it's very thick, as you can see. It's like almost 500 pages. So I am definitely getting through it. I am about a third of the way through it and it's very interesting so far. I just definitely need to finish this before the end of the year. All right, next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? The only book that I can think of that I'm like planning on reading is Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. This book is a short little like novella almost that is very spooky, but also very fall from what I've heard. So I guess this like horror calls to me towards the end of the year. So I'm gonna say this. I'm very excited about this one. If you've read this one, comment down below what your thoughts were, because I am so excited. I recently saw RileyMarie read this and she gave it 5 stars. So I have high expectations. The next question is there a new release you're still waiting for? So yes, there are a couple. There are Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. I recently read the other 2 books in this like companion series of romances. Yeah, so I read the first 2 books. They were amazing, like 4 and 5 stars. So this is the last book, I'm assuming, in the companion series. It comes out next week, the 24th or the 23rd of October. Whenever that is, whenever you're watching, the 23rd of October is when it comes out. It hasn't come out now, the day I'm filming this, so I am waiting anxiously. I'm anxious about it. I'm also waiting for Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. I am also waiting for, let me think. Heartstopper, I believe, comes out in December, Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. I am waiting for that one. I think that is it for my pre-orders that I have waiting for the end of the year. That's all I can think of right now. So those 3 books are what I'm looking forward to for the end of the year. I have other pre-orders that I placed for the beginning of the year, but that's next year. Anyways. Back to the questions. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? So I already said Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. 3 books. Let me grab them. So 3 books that I want to read by the end of the year. One of them I'm like 100% positive that I'm going to read by the end of the year because it's so short. It's Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. And yes, I do have a bookmark in this one. I planned on starting it like last week, so I put my bookmark in it. Have I started it? No. I'm very mad at myself, if you cannot tell. But this book I got from the library and it is due back soon, so I need to read it. Somebody comment down below if this is good or not and if I should prioritize this one. I've been loving T. Kingfisher's work. So yeah. The next book is a nonfiction that I recently saw at the library and was like, that sounds really interesting. This is called Nasty Women: Feminism, Resistance, and Revolution in Trump's America. So this is just a bunch of essays from a bunch of like very well-known feminists and just like scholars talking about feminism and the age of Trump, which I cannot believe I'm mentioning his name on my channel, but like just to like let y'all know, I am a staunch feminist and I hate Trump, okay? Anyways, not to get political, but like that's what I'm planning on reading. Anyways, let's get on to the next one. The last book that I definitely want to finish by the end of the year, that I plan on reading by the end of the year, jeez, is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This cover, like, it's literally just the colors of the cover are screaming fall to me. So I really want to read it, but it's literally set in Alaska, so I don't know. But I really want to read it. I took the audiobook out on my Libby app, but I haven't started it yet, and I have like 2 weeks left to read it before I have to return it. So I have 2 weeks to read this chunker of a book. Can I do it? I don't know. We'll see. Next question. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I'm trying to think. I have to be honest, I think it's Bloom, because RileyMarie gave it 5 stars, and I really like a lot of the stuff that RileyMarie has read. So I'm thinking Bloom, but also to give a different answer than a book that I've already mentioned, I will say, oh, this is a good one. I will say Yerba Buena by Nina LaCour. This book, ooh, I heard it's like sapphic and it's sad, which is, if you don't know me, my bread and butter. I love sad books and I love anything queer. So I'm hoping that this one hits. Have you already started making reading plans for next year? I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, because I have pre-orders that are coming in next year and I plan on reading them immediately. So like yes in that sense, but also no as in like I am just like I'm partially a mood reader, so it's like I will just pick up whatever I want to pick up in the moment. I'm not specifically thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna save Heartstopper Volume 5 for like the new year so I can start off the new year with a bang. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not thinking like that. I'm just like, okay, I have a pre-order coming in and I definitely want to get to it by the end of the year. That's really my mindset. But I know that like other booktubers are like, yeah, I'm planning my content for next year already and like I have ideas for next year, and I'm like, no, I don't plan that far ahead. I plan like maybe 1 month ahead, maybe 2 weeks ahead if I'm lucky. Okay? No. So yeah, those are the books for the end of the year book tag. I am so excited that it's finally the end of the year. It's finally fall and like we're getting into the end of the year. It's my favorite time of year. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm in school right now. It's my senior year, fall semester of my senior year, and girl, I am struggling to keep motivated. So if you have any tips on how to stay motivated to finish school, like just to get through the last year, let me know down below. What are you guys up to? Are you excited for the end of the year? Are there any books that you plan on reading before the end of the year? Let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. All my social medias will be linked in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.